We're back.
We back.
We back.
You back.
I'm back. Back like I never left, as they say. As the old saying goes.
They do be saying that.
They do be saying it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you guys for joining us once again on this dubious podcast that we call the One Beer In.
That's a good way to describe it, actually.
I'm happy to be back. If you couldn't tell, still a little rundown from the trip.
Mm-hmm. The old Cali trip.
It's been a hard adjustment because going there and coming back both. What's the word? Jet lag.
Jet lag, yeah.
Jet lag.
Case in point.
Plus the coming home flight was a red eye. So you couple all that and you get a lot of excuses, which I'm done with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to rock this show.
Okay.
You ready to rock this show?
Yeah, I think I am.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I had to, do a mental check.
Yeah.
I think I am indeed ready to rock.
We always got to check in with ourselves a little bit.
We do.
What are we doing? How we doing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we can rock this show, we got to rock these beers. So, Adam, please tell the people what we are drinking tonight.
I'd be happy to. We have another brewski from the Hourglass Brewing establishment. This one's the Kölsch. It's the District Kölsch. This one was not gifted. I went on my way and I gave Hourglass my money, as you should too. It does not have a cold read. Come on, guys. You know what?
Come on, we need the cold read.
It simply says the District Kölsch style ale, 16 fluid ounces. This one was released, I believe, if I'm not incorrect here, for their 2-year anniversary.
Right on.
So, congrats.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
To Hourglass. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah. I forgot this is our first time back since your birthday, right?
Did we even do one for my birthday?
No,
we didn't.
No, we skipped for your birthday.
That's right, we did. That's right. That's right.
So everybody wish our great and glorious host here a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
He is closer to death.
Way closer. Way closer. And without further ado, my name is Marco Dupa, and that guy right there, Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
And this is episode 317?
Or is it 18? Is it 18 or is it 17? It always gets funky when we do one reel in.
317.
Okay. Let's go with that. And if not, you can edit your voiceover here.
Of the One Beer In podcast.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
That's right. This is the One Beer In podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. This Kölsch, pretty delicious.
It is pretty delicious. I will say I did cheat. I was able to have this in their tap room, and it was good enough for me to bring home.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That and check out the squish.
The squish. Oh, did you get to?
I did also bring home a squish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, One Beer In podcast. We're back. We're rocking. So much to discuss. So much to update on. Let's do a little bit of personal updating first. Because I had the trip.
Yep.
And I'll just give you the basic rundown because we did a lot. And I don't want to, take up fucking 45 minutes.
We could do a slideshow if you want.
Yeah, of all the.
Yeah.
I didn't take very good pictures.
This was Venice.
I'll tell you what. This was my first time taking, like, I had the nice camera, and everybody takes their nice camera on the trip, and they try to get as many photos as they can. By the way, you can probably hear the snifflies in my voice. Again, I know. Believe me, it's a head cold. We lifted the mask mandate, and now I've had 2 colds.
Yeah.
Since.
Yep. You have been tested. Everyone, don't worry. Yeah. So
for all the STDs, and I'm clean for most of them.
yes.
And
Don't worry, folks.
also COVID.
Yeah.
And I don't. Right?
I think that's what it was.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have it, so we're good. But yeah, I took my camera and then basically forgot to fucking use it half the time because the phone on your camera is just too readily available.
Yeah.
It's
too convenient. It's too convenient and too good.
Yeah. At this point, it's like you have to want that picture on your camera to edit it. Like, it has to be a thing that you want to do, because otherwise, if you're just telling yourself I need to take pictures of my trip, then yeah, you just use your fucking phone.
Yeah.
At this point,
For sure. 100%.
oh well, I'll fix it later. So yeah, one mistake I already made. But yeah, let me think. We were in Ontario, California. Got to make the distinction.
World famous Ontario, California.
And apparently it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's kind of like, if you live here, it's kind of like Oviedo, where you're like, what the fuck is an Oviedo? But it's 45 minutes to an hour to everything from Oviedo.
Right.
Which is how Ontario was for Southern California. We hit Santa Monica. We hit L.A. We did the touristy shit. We did, like, Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
We did, we could see the Hollywood sign. We didn't go to it.
Okay.
Which, honestly, I didn't even know that was a thing.
The sign?
I know the sign was a thing, but people actually, like, taking a hike to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was, like, an organized thing. I thought people just, like, if you wanted to be near it or whatever, you could go. To me, it seems a little ridiculous. It's like taking a picture with just the base of the Leaning Tower of Pisa or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how this is me at the Hollywood sign, and it's just a giant pillar, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's the mistake people make in New York. If you're going to New York, listen up. You don't get the best pictures from the Empire State Building, obviously.
Right.
Like, you need a picture of the skyline. You go to, like, Jersey to get a good skyline picture.
Right.
Or you go to Rockefeller to get all the, big iconic buildings.
Right.
You don't go to the thing that you want to take a picture of.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. People don't think about that, though.
No. Especially when it's presented to you like, oh, we should go to the Hollywood sign. Then you get there and you're like, wow.
This is the wrong perspective.
So we didn't do that.
Or you can make it say Hollyweed. Yeah.
Hollyweed.
You remember when they did that?
Hollywood land.
Yeah. You add more to it.
Yeah.
Like the old days.
Yeah. So we did that. LA was pretty cool. We hit this thing called Smorgasbord, which is basically a farmer's market in LA, close to downtown LA. I guess it's pretty big. Like, they just started doing it, and then the pandemic kind of made them had to put the brakes on it. And then they're bringing it back. And I guess there's one in New York too. So I guess it's a thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was cool. I had so many tacos. I was telling you about the tacos. I forgot to tell you I had goat birria tacos.
Ooh.
Birria? You
sound like a goat.
Birria. Amazing.
Birria.
From the Goat Mafia.
Oh.
Which I guess they were on, like,
Triple D.
I think one of Guy's I think it was one of Guy's shows, and then, like, some other Food Network bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was fun. I'm trying to think. I want to run down the list. I don't want to, like, keep, naming, oh, we did this, and then we did that, and then we did this. I remember one time I went on a trip with an ex, and we came back, and we were showing family the pictures of the trip. And I hated every second of it. I just thought no one cares. I mean, you just have to feign excitement.
You get the wow.
Yeah, and you're just doing it over and over and over again.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I just hated it.
You know, parents really love that though. They love going through the pictures.
I know.
I don't get it.
They really, really do.
Because I don't like doing it either. What I'll do instead is just I'll go here, look at them. Yeah, take it out on your own time. Tell me if you have a question about something, and I'll let you know.
Right.
But I'm not going to go through and swipe through every picture.
Right. I'm sure as shit not going to do a fucking slideshow
Make
on
a
the
keynote.
TV. But we did do that. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's next now.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah.
I hope you know.
That's the reason.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
So all in all, we went to Santa Monica. I didn't say that. Santa Monica hit the pier.
Santa Monica.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Fucking magician was there.
Oh wow.
Just doing street magic.
Nice.
People out there singing and shit.
Yeah.
One guy was handing out his mixtapes. I'm like, it's over, bro.
Yeah.
You're pushing 40. It's over.
You got tapes.
It's over.
Yeah.
He was handing out CDs and my dad. So we're walking by him. I was like, no, thank you. And I just kept walking. My dad stops and he's listening to the guy. And the guy's like, yeah, man, I do rap. I do R&B. I do jazz. I sing. I do all this other stuff. And my dad just, hey, Marco. And I'm like, I left him on purpose. He brings me back over there and he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't have any cash on me. He's like, okay, no problem. I'll hit you on your way back. And I'm like, what, are you threatening me?
All right. I'm sure you will, sir.
And I was walking away with them and I was like, look, guys, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Because now, like, as a person who has passed out their CDs and flyers and stuff, very, very brief time in my career that I did this. What ends up happening is if you give somebody a CD, if they're not on their way to the car, guess what? That CD's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
They're not holding on to your CD for the whole day.
No.
It's not happening.
They're going to dinner or something. They're tossing it immediately.
They're tossing it.
Yeah.
Even if they took it trying to be nice, they're tossing it.
Yeah. It's an inconvenience.
Yeah. Nobody wants to walk around with that thing unless they have a bag. And even if they have a bag, they're like, I don't want it to break in there. And it's like, fuck it, I'll break it out here. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then if you have flyers, again, if you're handing them out at the beginning of the day, guess what? They're ended up in the corner of the club.
Yeah.
Just packed high, stacked up, because nobody wants to hold on to that bullshit.
Nope.
Even that was when I realized that's not the way to market yourself. Because even every time I go out, somebody tries to hand me a flyer or CD or something, even if it's free, I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'll pay you to leave me alone.
I have pockets and I don't want it.
I don't want that.
I still don't want it.
Sometimes if they're walking by, I'll just take it to be nice, throw it in my pocket so they don't see me throw it away, then get out of their LOS and then throw it away. Because I don't want it. So anyway, this is the spiel that I gave to them. Like, look, guys, it's just that's not the way to market yourself. So what do you? And I was telling my mom, like, what were you gonna do if you bought it? They're like, just hold on to his CD.
Yeah.
And then we get in the rental car and we all like jam to this guy on the way back. Okay, maybe.
It's pretty good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It wasn't going to happen.
No.
So, yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
It was
Let me
fun.
get a worst thing and a best thing.
Worst thing, other than the sunburn, because that was
your nose
uncomfortable
looks
to come
especially
back.
freckly right now.
I don't know if people can see that on camera, but yeah, it's not great. The nose, the shoulders. I'm trying to finish my tattoo, if you can see that, and that was kind of painful, made exponentially
Extra
more painful.
Ugh.
But no, honestly, you want to know the worst thing?
Mm-hmm.
In and Out.
Oh,
In and Out was the worst thing.
I feel the downvotes.
Listen, I'm not saying that it is the worst thing. I'm saying it was the worst thing on the trip,
Of your trip?
considering
Okay.
how much I had hyped it up in my head and how much it had been hyped up. This is not just me creating this fantasy.
Sure. Yeah.
There is a mythology around In and Out.
There are in and out heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
People who cannot get enough of it and then put it above some top tier burger places.
Yeah.
That the minute I took the first bite, I was so angry and disappointed
Oh no.
that people had the audacity, the gall to compare In-N-Out to literally any other fast casual place. If I'm making a tier list,
Yeah.
In-N-Out's not even A or B tier. I'd say maybe C tier.
Wow.
I am
Absolute disrespect.
I'm flabbergasted at the amount of people who swear by this burger. I couldn't believe it. I had Jack in the Box and thought, you put some animal sauce on this and Jack in the Box, that burger is 1,000 times better than In-N-Out.
Oh, God.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
It's
no.
not better than Smash Burger. It's not better than Burger Fi. It's not better than Burger 21. It's not better than Shake Shack. And it ain't even fucking sniffing Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I gotta agree with you on that one. Now, I don't think I'm as negative on it as you are. But I think you were set up for failure.
Yeah.
I think it was too hyped for you. I think you went in with way too high expectations, and that's probably why you ended up where you did with it.
Yeah. I will say it's not fair to In-N-Out as a franchise, the reputation that precedes them, because it's the people. It would be like if people were telling you Steak and Shake was the best burger they ever had. That's the only thing I can really compare it to.
Yeah.
Their fries are so bad. Their fries are not Shake and Shake. I mean, Steak and Shake's fries suck
Their
too.
fries are terrible. Yeah, yeah.
But In-N-Out's fries, I mean, they were just bland, no seasoning, just maybe. And here's the thing: we discussed this as a family. Maybe I got the wrong In-N-Out. Right, I got it at the one that was right outside the hotel.
Okay.
We got it kind of late.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like,
Wrong place, wrong time.
yeah. Second string team was in, not
Yeah.
the A players.
Right.
So sure, but the thing is, it's the same ingredients. I can't see how much better it could be with a better cook.
Just a little more love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
yeah, you guys who hyped that thing up, it made me think like, I mean, fucking influencers and it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
In-N-Out. Fucking terrible. Not terrible, but terrible.
I'm staying silent right now because I just don't want to be canceled by everyone on the West Coast.
Terrible relatively.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It doesn't come in sniffing space of Five Guys burgers and fries.
No.
Of either the burgers or the fries.
No. I mean the fries.
Oh.
Oof.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So that's probably the worst thing. Best thing, the weather. I mean, it just felt amazing. Almost every day. There was the last day it got a little hot, but pretty much every day we were out there. It felt it was perfect. The weather was perfect. I mean, we were out at Santa Monica and I was just standing there, just taking it in.
They have air conditioning out here. Crazy.
And my mom was like, I bet you could just stay out here. I was like, yeah, you could just leave me here and I'll figure out my life. I'll start over out here.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Just way less humidity.
Yeah. Oh, it was so much better. I mean, I was wearing 2 shirts, pants, like a full outfit out at the beach and just breeze hitting, just sun right there, no clouds, just amazing.
And then as soon as you get off of your plane at MCO, you just feel like
yeah, your glasses fog up. It's
a cloud of
why is it holding me?
Buddy Dyer's talking to you in a tram. You're just upset.
Yeah, that day back was it sucked because it was super early, the jet lag, and then as we're driving back, the morning here, it's just the start of how shitty the day's gonna be during the summer. So,
but it already feels like breath outside.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the trip. I hope to go back someday.
Yeah. You want to check out like North California next time?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where I've been, and I can tell you, it's a good time.
I definitely want to hit North Florida. I don't want to hit North Florida.
Tallahassee, great time.
Yeah.
Well,
So there you
good.
go.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun birthday experience.
Yes, it was good. Had a good time.
On the flip side, while you were out there, what I did was I decided to try to amp up my workout a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I picked up the awkward circle of the Switch fitness game.
Yeah.
And there's apparently some yoga that you can do within that system.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled something in my back. So I've been in pain ever since.
Yeah. Nice.
And that's been a good time.
Nice.
So if you see me go, it's my back.
Mid-show, just just spazzing up on you.
Yeah. So thank you, Switch.
Lawsuit incoming.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
I mean, you gotta try.
Yeah.
You gotta keep trying. Maybe put a little too much oomph into it.
Did a little too much. A little too much.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So
Coming down to the wire. I know. I think that if I'm not mistaken, the episode I wrote it down. I did something responsible this time. I wrote down the episode in which the weight loss challenge is over. So we still have a little bit of time to go. I think it's episode 325.
okay. So it is probably the end of next month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
It is. It's the end of the month.
I
next month.
sure need it, bud.
So you got time.
Okay.
You got time.
Okay. We're back in this thing.
Yeah.
We're back in this thing.
Just chill a couple days. Let your back. I mean, I can tell you what, dude. There was obviously a gym in the not airport. It's probably a gym in the airport, but a gym in the hotel. And I mean, my mom went, and she was like, "You guys want to?" And every day we're like, "No, we're gonna eat burritos." What's wrong with you?
There are far better things to do today, Mom.
You know what I'm having for breakfast? Burritos and Doritos. Yeah, that was amazing. It was amazing.
When in Rome.
There was this place that we went to, Miguel's Tacos or something, and they had
That just sounds racist.
I know. But I swear to God, it was Miguel's Tacos.
Okay.
Miguel's something.
Uh-huh.
And Miguel Jr. or Tacos. Anyway. And and they had a green chile burrito. It was pulled pork, and like the pork was marinated in the green chile.
Ooh.
And then just your run of the mill burrito, breakfast burrito ingredients, but with pulled pork instead of like bacon. I mean, yeah, dude.
I'd go back to bed.
Yeah,
I'd eat that and crawl right back into bed.
fucking killer, man. Fucking killer. I will say this: hotel could have been a little cleaner, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe that's the cause of this.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I mean, every day I woke up with a tension headache, right in the forehead and nose area.
Yeah.
Every day. And then when we left, I take some medicine, and then when we left, gone almost immediately. Wake up the next day, same fucking thing. At first I thought, oh no, like maybe I drank too much on my birthday or something, and it kept happening.
Yeah.
Which is like scary and disgusting when I think about like whatever I was
caused
breathing
that?
in.
Yeah. Some black mold maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. It's fine. It's just asbestos.
Yeah.
Shake it
No
off.
big deal.
Oh, God.
You're welcome. You're welcome, America. You're welcome. So
That did not make me feel good.
didn't relieve my face either.
Yeah. Nothing can do that.
So I've been trying to relax a little bit,
Yep.
trying to like get over all of this and trying to just snap back.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I was doing, I was just laying around, just watching movies, just trying to relax.
Yeah.
And the other day, yesterday or the day before, I just sat around thinking like I'll just watch a flick, go to bed, call it an early night.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the new Space Jam movie, which honestly, I wish that I had something wittier to say about it that, you know, Esquire or IGN or The Verge or any of these other, you know, publications that would take time out to write a very pithy and well-worded review / diatribe of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just, suffice to say, just read those reviews, because that's how I felt about the movie.
Okay.
Watching it.
Consensus.
Yeah.
So let's see. Based off the reviews I saw, it is basically a big ad.
Yeah.
Terribly written.
Yeah.
And overall pointless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still think you should watch it just to watch it.
Yeah, I've got morbid curiosity pushing me to do that.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's kind of it's almost impressive how lazy and also how big and like how much work seems to have been put in it on one end, but then on the other end, just like absolutely no thought.
Just phoned it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought, for instance, at LeBron, I thought, you know, I saw him in Trainwreck and the commercials and stuff, and I'm like, he's a passable actor. In this, awful.
Nothing.
Just I
Just
saw
got
some
nothing.
reviews where they were like, I mean, at least LeBron is a better actor than Michael, and I'd argue that they are just the same, if not LeBron's a little weaker of an actor.
Oh my
In this
God.
movie, not overall. I think LeBron's a decent actor overall, but in this, I was like, I can't believe how wooden and stiff his line delivery is. It's bad. It's really bad.
Say it's 2-dimensional.
Ironically,
It comes off a little flat.
only part of the movie is it in 2D, and then they go into 3. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. And they do, you know, you've read the reviews. They like fly through different worlds and stuff, and they make all these weird references. They reference the Matrix so much that it's quite clear that they are trying to get the Matrix back into the zeitgeist because it's coming out soon.
Yep.
It's so painfully obvious.
WB's like, remember? Yeah.
Remember this thing we did?
It's really good.
There's, honestly, dude, no kidding. There's at least 4 references to one movie in another movie where they are referencing other movies.
I remember,
it's kind of insane.
I remember seeing in the preview the Clockwork Orange Droogs in the background.
Oh, yeah. No, and it just...
Ah, yes. Add the rapists.
Yeah. They're just dancing around like, man, if LeBron's wife was alone, I tell you what.
Bit of the ultra violence.
It's so fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. So yeah, it's a big ad for HBO Max and for the Warner Brothers back catalog. It's just, I'm not going to go into it.
Okay.
Like I said, read the reviews.
This is the One Reel In podcast.
Just read the reviews. And that's, I mean, there's people who are like, you know, it's a kid's movie and it's just dumb fun.
That's what I was going to ask you was like, I've seen this counter backlash essentially saying like, well, what were you expecting? Like it's Space Jam.
Right.
The original Space Jam was a bad movie too.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is. It's just fun. You know, movies can just be dumb and fun and for kids sometimes.
And I concede all of those points. The problem is, in this one, first of all, you're using the Looney Tunes, which are, I hate to say it, they're just dead. They're dead. It's a dead...
You've heard it here first, folks. The Looney Tunes are dead.
They're just... What kid... And I know you don't know many kids...
I don't.
But there's no children. Like, okay, when Space Jam, the original Space Jam came out, we were like 6, 7, 8, right? At that point, the Looney Tunes were still kind of a thing.
Yeah, I grew up on Looney Tunes.
When we were growing up, they were playing, and then even the shows that we were aware of, like Hey
Tiny
Arnold
Toons too.
Yeah, they had the Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
And then you had Boomerang was getting really big at
Yep.
that point. So the Looney Tunes are just on
Right.
constantly. So you see them, and you're like, okay, that's for me. I get that.
Yeah.
I can make that connection. And then Michael Jordan is not just the biggest basketball player in the world. At that point, he was the biggest person. He was the biggest celebrity. It was
Entity.
him and fucking Michael Jackson
Right.
and fucking Madonna. And that was it. I mean, he was just everywhere. So, of course, even if you didn't watch basketball, you knew who Michael Jordan was. Everybody did. So those two things, there's a connection made for your child brain.
Yeah.
So that you can just kind of not really care about everything else that's going on. It's loony, it's tooty, it's positively cartoony. You know?
Right.
With this one, the problem is like no one's watching the Looney Tunes. So they don't the part where it's supposed to be geared towards kids doesn't make a lot of sense because again, the Clockwork Orange thing.
Right.
I know that's a small thing, but it's like if a kid saw that, if they saw those characters and they were curious about like, oh, who are the guys in the white jumpsuits, Dad? You have to explain a Clockwork Orange to him.
What's a codpiece?
And not only that, there was the Ice King or the Ice King, right? From Game of Thrones. Is that what they call them? Ice Giant? Ice something? Cold guy?
I think the Ice King's
Mr.
from
Freeze.
Adventure Time.
I think so too. Oh, by the way, that's what they should have referenced. If they were going to try to get the kids of today, it should have been like Adventure Time, regular show, Steven Universe, Ben 10, or anything in that range.
Where my mind went immediately was obviously like any modern big time video game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, definitely.
Like all of them.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
Among Us, any of those.
Yeah.
No references to any of those.
No, they're not a property.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's all just a circle jerk. You can just see the executives behind the camera just this is awesome. Look at how it is really a bit. It's 2 hours long.
Oh my god.
It's 2 hours long.
How long was the first one?
The first one barely cracked 90 minutes.
Okay.
Barely. I think it was like 85 minutes or something like that.
It's a kids movie.
Exactly. Another thing where you're like, if this is a kids movie, why is it 2 hours long?
You know what would have been more interesting to me? Let me go on my high horse again real quick. Whenever we're discussing movies, I feel the need to do this to make them better. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't they? Because they're obviously banking on nostalgia here, right?
Right.
Looney Tunes in general don't really have a place in modern children's hearts and minds,
right,
for the most part. I'm sure there are a handful of kids who did grow up watching Looney Tunes because their parents liked Looney Tunes growing up, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Why not make this a more adult version for our generation?
Right. Right.
Like, don't make it a hard R or anything like that, but, a PG-13, kind of edgy, kind of weird, but, like geared for an adult audience that can bring in these properties properly,
right,
without offending the Looney Tunes people, and make it really geared towards the people who it's, I think, really trying to bank off of, which is our generation.
But that's not who they're trying to bank off of. That's the problem.
They should be.
When you watch the movie, you can see that they are obviously just going, whatever sells this movie, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
And so to maximize profit, they go, LeBron will get the adults and the young adults to adults, and then all this loony doofy dumb shit will get the children.
Yeah.
And that's it. That is all they care about. And it worked because that movie did really well at the box office. Even though it's holding a 30% right now, Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. It did really, really well. Post-pandemic box office.
Fulfilling the legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why when you watch it, you'll see that there are glimpses of, oh, this could have been a good movie. This actually could have been, if a little bit more thought was put into this, there actually is a good movie here.
Yeah.
And instead, they just, like, the whole point of the movie is be yourself. Fathers, listen to your sons. They don't want to do what you did, Dad. They want to be their own kid.
Uh-huh.
And it's wild. LeBron plays a heightened version of himself where he's like kind of a jerk about basketball.
Okay.
Like he wants his kids to follow in his footsteps, and he's like, "You'll never be great if you don't bust your ass. You gotta work.
So
you gotta."
he's playing Michael Jordan's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And Michael Jackson's dad.
And Michael Jackson's dad. And Michael Jordan. Yeah, and it's like we know too much about Michael Jordan or LeBron, and that's kind of the point of the movie too. Is like he's so famous and so beloved. That's part of the plot. It's like the algorithm wants to use him for some stupid shit. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
But that's part of the point.
Is the algorithm Don Cheadle?
Yes.
Okay.
He plays the algorithm. Guess what his name is?
Al.
Keep going.
Go Rhythm. Am I close? No? I thought that's the level of complexity we're dealing with.
It is.
Is it? Oh my God.
It's Al G Rhythm.
Oh, come on.
Algorithm. Oh my God, it's so funny, man. I can't believe that they did this. And that when you see that on paper, you have to be like, Don Cheadle had to have read that and was like, guys, are we even trying? Are we even trying?
And they went, shh.
And he was like, and he just starts eating the dollar bills.
Uh-huh.
You're right. I'll give Don Cheadle credit where it's due. I mean, he tears it up, man. He's actually good in this, and you're like, why are you trying so hard?
I guarantee when there's nothing at stakes, it's so easy to go like full in.
Right.
You know? Like,
I mean,
who cares? Let's go.
He's either acting on a green screen by himself or he's acting on a green screen with LeBron. That's it. Those are the only people that he acts with in the movie. So I mean, it had to have been for him. They probably just told him, have a fucking field day with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's only 6 lines on this paper. It's not a very complex dialogue you're having here. Yeah. Ooh, that LeBron James.
It was a long afternoon. He just came in and
pretty much
knocked it out.
Oh man, yeah, Al G Rhythm. So yeah, there again, there's glimpses of what could have been a good movie, like the idea of an algorithm taking over entertainment, which is what's actually happening in real life.
Right.
And LeBron's hesitancy to be a part of it is what drives the plot.
Okay.
Sort of. It takes 2 seconds to get here and then go in a completely different direction.
Of course.
But for a moment, you're like, he made a reasonable decision here where he's like, I don't want to be a part of this. It seems weird. I don't like it. It's a bad idea. And you're like, well, they're actually like making a statement here. That's weird. Especially since it's Warner Brothers.
Right.
And like the whole point of this movie is an ad for an algorithm-based streaming service.
Yeah, that's true.
That just puts your favorite movies in front of you because it watches how you watch things.
I was going to say maybe their point is like the internet's bad. Come see more movies.
Yeah, but even that, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the internet's bad. Go on the internet and go on our streaming service.
Please.
Look at all the cool
subscribe.
shit that we've done.
Yeah.
Casablanca!
With HBO Max. You too can jerk off to Casablanca.
I mean, there is not a child alive under the age of 12.
Where are you going with this?
Who knows what Casablanca is?
That's true.
That's where I'm ending.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
Do they reference Casablanca?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Okay.
Casablanca, The Matrix multiple times, like I said. Harry Potter multiple times.
Of course, WB.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What else they got?
Oh, and you know the other thing, and then I guess we can kind of get away from it now, but the other thing was there. I mean, there's just a, like gaping plot holes that once you get about halfway through the movie, you're just like, why am I even thinking so hard about this? Like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where they're flashing different movies on a big screen, kind of showing, again, a circle jerk for Warner Brothers, showing all their classics or whatever, and the original Space Jam is on the screen. So you're like, okay, so wait a minute. Are we living in a universe where the OG Space Jam is a movie, or is it
that it happened?
Yeah. Because the Looney Tunes make reference to their adventures with Michael Jordan.
Huh.
LeBron never outright acknowledges it. And then at one point, the Monstars are there in the audience.
Spoilers.
I know. Sorry, guys. Sorry. They don't factor into the plot at all.
Okay.
They're just there.
Yeah.
You just see them and you go, oh, yeah, the Monstars from the original. And so I'm like, the Looney Tunes are acting as if that did happen. That was a thing that they did.
Right.
But nobody else acknowledges it.
Maybe it's a weird hybrid of both, and like it happened, but they filmed it all. So it's like,
oh, so they were actors in that movie.
well, not even actors. Like it's almost like a documentary of what happened. Like it was all filmed.
Right. Okay.
And what we're seeing is a clip from that.
So what is that? Was Michael a part of it? Did it actually happen to Michael?
Yes, it happened to him. My theory here is that it happened to him, and they filmed at least the game, right, or the games that happened within that universe. So maybe the clip that they were showing was from the game.
No, they just show the movie poster.
Well, forget it. Forget it,
Dude. Do you know how much better this movie would have been if we were living in a universe where it did actually happen to Michael Jordan and they had to acknowledge that Michael got sucked through a golf hole, and then when he made his way back to the real world, it was through a spaceship that the Looney Tunes drove, landed in the middle of a baseball field, and then he just continued playing baseball. Do you know how amazing this movie would have been if they all were just like, remember that shit happened to Michael like 20 years ago and it's happening to LeBron.
Yeah.
So fucking, this is weird.
Yeah. And then this time they didn't have a sexual pervert sing the theme song.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's good.
No. And this time they just had a bunch of like rappers and reggaeton artists and like just a weird hodgepodge of artists where you're like, it ain't the same.
They could have, I mean, they should have at least gone with the spirit of it and had like, you know, a smattering of hip hop and R&B, you know?
Yeah, they didn't do that.
They could have gotten like The Weeknd or something. Do a single on it.
I'm sure some song played in the background that I wasn't that the thing is like the original soundtrack, and I hate to be the nostalgia guy who's like never been my shit. But it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like the OG soundtrack had Jay-Z.
That was great. It was surprisingly solid soundtrack.
Crazy good soundtrack for what shouldn't have. It just shouldn't have.
No.
Been. And then with this, it's just like they got the biggest names in the industry today. But the problem is most of the people in the industry today are making very formulaic music. With for better or for worse. If you fuck with like a lot of that stuff, that's all well and good. But for a soundtrack that's supposed to be like the score of a 2-hour-long feature-length movie, for it to be it's a very one-note sound that just fades into the background after a while.
And there's no I Believe I Can Fly. Like,
absolutely not. There's nothing.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been nice. I shouldn't say it needs, because obviously they did without it, but it would have been nice for them to have like that one hit in there,
Yes.
to anchor the entire thing.
Yeah, just a smash song.
Yeah.
That you could go, oh, that's on the Space Jam soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we didn't get that.
Back in my day. I'll tell you what.
So anyway, I don't know. I had a feeling as soon as I mentioned it, I wouldn't be able to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help it.
That's how the show goes.
Yeah. Do you want to hear about my revelations, or we should move on?
Let's get the revelations. It's fine.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Okay.
So I watched Space Jam.
Yeah.
And then I watched I turned the TV on. I just turned regular TV on, and Fast and the Furious was on. So obviously the love for the series is well documented on the show.
Right.
I sat down and watched the whole thing because of course. And then for some reason I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch all 8 now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend the whole night watching all 8 movies, but I'm trying to get as many out. And I also wanted to finally put the nail in the coffin, for me at least.
Yeah.
In the debate that we have over Too Fast, Too Furious versus Tokyo Drift.
Uh-huh.
And I'll say this.
Here we go.
I had a revelation last night. Tokyo Drift is not nearly as bad as I remembered.
Okay.
In fact, it's quite good.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really, really good movie. It's like it's
Trying to tell you.
there's moments that I still cringe at. There's like some stuff in the
Of course,
beginning. There's
of
some dialogue. The fact that Bow Wow's name is Twinkie. I'm just not a fan of that.
Which is fun that they reference in F9.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's the last movie in the series that features like tremendous driving.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it kind of makes you go, maybe they should have stuck with the street racing stuff a little bit. They had a thing going here.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lucas Black is not nearly as bad as I remember him being. I remember just hating him.
Yeah.
Hating that he was the protagonist. Like, I have to follow this guy around. So yeah, I still, because when I watch Too Fast, Too Furious, it's so much fun. I had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, in that movie, Paul Walker has the most chemistry with Tyrese.
100%.
In that
Yeah,
movie.
100%.
And I think that the more that they get into these later movies, we're losing the charm of the earlier films.
Because they split the team up more and more. They're diluting the product here.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
As a Too Fast, Too Furious hater, I won't even say hater because I went back and rewatched it and kind of like you, my past qualms softened a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you guys didn't know, if you haven't heard already, I'm much more of a Tokyo Drift man myself.
Right.
My issue, my main beast with Too Fast, Too Furious, though it be a very fun movie, is that it unnecessarily dumbs everything down. Now, I'll say it does it more successfully than F9 did.
Yeah.
So it's dumb, but you don't care because you enjoy exactly what you were saying, those interactions between the characters.
Yeah.
That's what saves it for me. That is why I'll go back and rewatch that movie. But I mean, maybe I'm going from the car nut guy over here, so sue me. But like the opening entire like street races and stuff where it's clearly CG cars like flying through the air. It looks like crap.
Yeah, it does.
I don't like Suki. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't. Every time I see her, I don't like her.
You weren't impressed with the stifled wooden line delivery every time she's on screen.
Smack that ass. I like it. She makes me want to rage quit the movie every time I see it. Between that and the terrible CG with especially that first race scene that set really the standard for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the worst way to start off. And not to mention, I'm not even being sensitive here. They really don't like Spanish people. They hate the Hispanics. There's lots of shit talking. They make them look. There's semi-brown face going on.
Yeah.
Like throughout the movie.
Yeah, I mean the dude, the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a straight up white
guy
that they were like, if we dye his hair black, that'll be enough, right?
Doing a bad accent.
A bad accent.
And I cringe a little bit culturally when I see that movie. But you know, it is what it is. It's still fun, but hear me when I say, Tokyo Drift, far superior movie. Too Fast, Too Furious may be more fun, but it's way more dumb.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And Tokyo Drift, they do some really, really cool shit with it. And not to mention the Han thing.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about like writing this down and just like going into just trying to articulate this better than just kind of like spewing it. I have a working title called The Han Problem.
Okay.
Which is just the fact that their willingness to retcon so many things really, really ruins some of their earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift, if you're going to make the argument that it is far superior than Too Fast, Too Furious, which I'm not ready to do yet,
Okay.
but I'm inching towards it.
Yep.
I think one of the best parts of that movie is that such a likable character like Han dies.
Yeah.
And he dies permanently.
Yep.
He's supposed to be dead. And that is what gives the characters motivation to do what they do for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And his death is so, I don't want to say earned because he didn't deserve to die. I guess he kind of did, though. When you really think about the he's not a good dude.
No.
That's the thing. He's a scoundrel. He's
Yeah.
a gangster.
He's a Han Solo.
He's a Han Solo for
Yeah.
sure. And when he dies, he kind of, it's not like he didn't sacrifice himself. They are both just trying to escape. And he dies in a car accident. It's
Yeah.
a very real way for him to go.
Yeah.
A very like unforced, like organic way for him to die.
Right.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved that they did that. And then then it seems like post Tokyo Drift, they've been doing everything in their power to rewrite this beautiful history that they had going. They had this really good working thing. And then from that point forward, it seems like they've been writing this movie around 2 points. How much can we get Han back in these movies?
Yeah.
And how much can we make Vin Diesel look like a superhero? Because in Fast and Furious, the fourth movie, go back and watch that movie. I think we can agree that one's dog shit.
Yeah,
that's a pile of dog shit.
That is the worst one, I'll say.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it is the beginning of the self-mythologizing that Vin Diesel does from 4 to now.
Yeah.
Where he's now basically Goku. He's a
OP.
godlike figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts in Fast and the Furious because he does things where you're like, well, wait.
Hold on a
And the
minute.
movie is based around him in a way that like doesn't, when you watch these movies in a row, it really highlights like, oh, this is the point where he became an executive producer.
Yep, you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just goes in a completely different direction. In a direction where you go, ooh, this is hammy.
Well, and that brings to mind, did you see what The Rock said?
Oh, yeah.
He's
I
out?
guess we should talk about that a little
he's
bit.
out.
He's out.
No more.
Because he saw what Vin Diesel said, and he got fucking butthurt about it.
What did Vin Diesel say?
Vin Diesel, oh, you didn't see that? Vin Diesel said he had to give him a little bit of tough love to get a good performance out of him. He's like, our feud, if you want to call it that, was like, I was kind of being a big brother to him, kind of, just prodding him a little bit because he wasn't giving us a good performance. And when I did that, he really kind of came alive in the I think it was the 6th one. He said this, and Rocky saw that and he was like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm not doing your fucking movies anymore. How about that? How about you figure it the fuck out without me?
Oh, God.
Yeah, 2 giant petty babies. 2 giant bald petty babies.
Petty babies.
And Vin Diesel's like, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have been where he is without me. Rock's like, what are you talking about? Not to mention, I mean, his best performance is in the 5th one. So unless that tough love was on the 5th one, if you're
Right.
telling me that tough love was on the 6th and 7th one, then you fucking ruined those movies.
Yeah.
You should have kept your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that. 'Cause
Known
you
your
ruined
role.
those. Nice. So, yeah, that's disappointing because I was hoping. I don't think that I think he'll come back. It's a
Yeah.
lot of money to leave on the table.
Sure.
And not only just for the series itself, but for his own spinoffs. Like,
Oh, yeah, of course.
if he never comes back,
Well, that's what surprised me so much about it was, like, they set him up for an entire spin-off series.
yeah.
They could do Hobbs and Shaw forever. So for him to leave that on the table, especially if, like, Jungle Cruise flops or something, like,
Yeah.
what are we looking forward to with The Rock in the next 5 years?
Black Adam.
Right. That's one, but that's attached to a gigantic, franchise of its own. So he has that, sure. But outside of that, especially if Vin Diesel is out of this entire thing once we wrap up with the Fast and Furious saga, excuse me.
Yeah.
that leaves open room for him to come in and make that his own.
Right.
To bring in his own creatives and his own ideas and mythologize himself.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Right.
These guys have no humility, man.
None.
It's so crazy to watch.
None.
Just to watch their, like, all of their weaknesses just, like, leave the character. You're
right.
just like, I mean, even the F9 thing where we talked about how showing him, how his dad's death and how he reacted to it and all that stuff ruins the struggle and everything that he went through as a character, the building of it. And in the first one, he explains that story, and he's like, he put my dad into a wall, going 100, blah blah blah. And he was like, I watched my dad burn alive. And he says this line. It's actually a really good line where he's like, I heard my dad screaming, and they said that he died on impact, and the screaming was me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a good line.
That scene it doesn't belong in that movie.
No, absolutely.
Whenever it comes on, it's one of those things that, like, even if you're joking around and having a good time watching it, because most of the movie is that, like, everyone just shuts up for a second.
Yes.
It's one of those. It's like the Jaws scene, talking about the sinking.
Yeah.
The sinking of the Indianapolis, I think it was.
And you're like, where did they pluck
What's
this part?
happening?
Like, it's just like dropped in the middle, and you're like, Vin Diesel's putting on a good performance.
Yeah.
Good line delivery.
Yep. And good characterization.
And it's a well-written part, and you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? And then immediately they go off.
Yeah.
And,
they remove any kind of I don't know, any fault within that character.
Yeah.
He's now Jesus.
Yeah.
Like he's never made a mistake.
Yeah.
He's infallible.
Yeah.
Anything that can be perceived as a mistake actually wasn't.
Right.
He was justified.
Right.
And it's just you're looking at it the wrong way.
And he's not. And that's the thing. In the first couple of movies, he's not. Like, he is a criminal. And you're okay with
That's what
that.
makes him cool.
Right.
And scary.
But then you start doing these movies where, like, everything he's doing is, like, for family. And, like, I broke that guy's back. Why'd you do it? For family.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the meme. I get it.
I'm
but
a daddy.
at the same time, it is really ridiculous that he's doing all these things, and he just justifies it by going, well, they came after my family. So?
Right.
That doesn't mean you get to murder 50 people. You don't get to break necks and backs and arms and smash people's faces. You don't get to do all these things just because they, like, they don't. It's ridiculous. And in the first couple of movies, like, even in the first movie, he's like, I live my life quarter mile at a time. Quarter mile at a time. And in that quarter mile, I don't give a fuck about my family, my friends, what else is. It's all about me. And you're like, this is a good character.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun, well-written, like, complex character, because he does care about family, but at the same time, he'd give it all up in a minute.
And it shows why he continues to act that way.
Yes.
Why he can't stop.
Yes.
He's this thrill junkie.
Yeah.
And he can't give it up. Even, I think it's in that first one where, I think Mia was like, stop it. We have enough. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta do it. I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's idle. It's live. I gotta do it. I gotta go.
I mean, obviously stolen from Point Break, but,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Still.
The whole thing is
Yeah.
it's just Point Break.
It is. It's Point Break.
So
Watch Point Break.
Not
the remake. The original.
Yeah.
Keanu.
So yeah, that's I had this. I was watching it, and I got halfway through Tokyo Drift, and I was just thinking, like, man, I was wrong about this one. I was wrong about this.
Can't wait for you to get to Iron Man 3.
Never.
Then we can have a conversation.
Never.
Yeah.
It's all right. That's it. That's all I had to.
Okay.
I needed to get that off my chest.
Thank you.
So let's get into some entertainment news. Ready? Here's the Brews. Read the news.
Doo doo beep boop boop boop
Boop,
boop.
boop. There you go. Take a swig. Take a swig.
So from The Verge, this is titled "The Biggest Announcements from EA Play Live 2021: Battlefield, Dead Space, and More." We won't talk about the and more because it doesn't really apply.
Yeah.
But they're officially doing a remake of Dead Space 1.
Yeah.
That was 2. 1. A 1.
Yeah.
They didn't share very much other than a little just kind of mood trailer. But it looks pretty spooky.
Uh-huh.
Did you enjoy Dead Space when it first came out?
Adam. Fucking love Dead Space.
And you're not like a horror game guy, right?
Well, the thing is, I find them hard to play because I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy them a lot.
Yeah.
I like watching other people play them, and the ones that I can't get through, I enjoy immensely.
Mm-hmm.
I love Last of Us, although that's not as much of a horror game. It's sort of.
Horror
slightly.
adjacent, yeah.
Yeah. Resident Evil. I loved Resident Evil. And Dead Space 1 and 2, I just absolutely just... I mean, that first Dead Space...
Oh.
Honestly, dude, I don't know how I got through it because it's...
It's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
scared shitless.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I am super excited about this.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Me too. I like you, am a big wuss.
Yeah.
So, as much as I'm looking forward to this, I know it's going to be hard for me to play.
Yeah.
But I will play it nonetheless.
Well, you know they're going to make it way scary. I mean, they have to. If you're going to remake Dead Space, horror masterpiece.
Yeah. With better audio, better visuals.
PS5, that haptic response of the controller. Kidding me?
It's going to be a good time.
What do you think about people who are like, why didn't they make a sequel? Why are they doing all these fucking remakes?
I think, given the success of the recent Resident Evil remakes, I think it makes sense why they would do this.
Yeah.
I think also, a lot of people didn't play Resident Evil. Dead Space 3, that kind of, if I remember, kind of came and went.
Yeah.
By that point, people were kind of over it, and it was more, I think, multiplayer adjacent focused. So that kind of not even multiplayer. I think it was just more action oriented than the original two.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Well, it's like bigger, right? They're like on a planet. and
Yeah.
you're like, it's more open world.
Yeah.
Not like sandbox, but like it's just bigger.
Yeah, from what I remember, people were upset that it became too much like Aliens versus Alien. It's like, you're a little too well equipped, and it's no longer so much a survival horror that it used to be. But yeah, I mean, I don't personally have an issue with that. My only question is now, once this is done, what do we do? Like, do we start this as a new franchise, basically, that's like a fresh start for Dead Space? Are they going to change things up story-wise, or is it going to be like copy-paste of the narrative?
Right.
And then after this, do we get Dead Space 4, or do we get Dead Space Remake 2?
Right. Right. Are they just gonna? Is it gonna be like? Is it a complete remake? Is it like a soft reboot?
Yeah.
Is it like a God of War, or is it just a straight up like lens for lens remake?
Yeah.
In the vein of Resident Evil.
Sure. Or maybe it's something in the middle, like Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, where it's like it is the same but also different, and they add more stuff to it.
Same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious to see after this where they go next. If we get a sequel to this new beginning, or we get a 4.
I've been doing it.
Yeah,
I've been doing it.
Same. So other than that, we also got some Battlefield news with Battlefield 2042 Portal, which is essentially, from what I understand, because it kind of sounds a little complicated, but you can essentially make your own matches, but like to the nth degree.
Yeah.
So you get assets to use to create your own matchups, starting from Battlefield 1942 all the way up to the brand new 2042. So all that tech and weapons and vehicles and all that stuff, you have just basically, it's your choice to put in whatever you want. And you can, customize like crazy. So you can have, I don't know, let's say planes from World War II going up against ground soldiers from 2042.
Yeah.
And see who wins.
Yeah.
I saw one that was pretty interesting that was like a single squad of 2042 soldiers going up against like dozens of 1942 soldiers.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of like those kind of matchups seem really cool.
Yeah.
And fun to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But it falls just short of a like level creator where you can't change like the landscape necessarily, but basically everything else seems pretty much completely customizable.
Yeah.
So it opens it up for a lot of creativity. We'll see if people actually do it though, because that's the big question.
Right.
Because if nobody actually goes in and makes these things, I'm sure they'll have like a developer created playlist of different.
Okay, so it's something that people can make and then upload, sort of like Little Big Planet kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It shows your name and whatever you call it, and people can play it as much as they want.
Yeah. That's what's up. I thought it looked like it was. At first, I thought it was just like big custom servers, and I'm like, "What's the big deal?" But like that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty unprecedented and could lead to pretty huge. Because like you see that in games like Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, take all these pieces from different properties and different not genres, different generations of the game, and make like this new original thing. And that is like a very novel idea, and also something that seems like completely doable in a side scrolling. But to make like a huge PvP game, out of like your own imagination from all these different people, like that's pretty big.
Yeah, and
that's
there's apparently
big and exciting.
There's a lot of almost programming that you can involve yourself with too. Like they showed some behind the scenes stuff, like tools that you can use, probably way easier on PC. Yeah. To kind of hate to say it, but
bastards.
Like ways to really manufacture and kind of develop light development on how these matches will go.
Yeah.
So you can get into the nitty gritty, and I'm excited to see what people make out of it.
Yeah.
And I think this is the more we see with Battlefield 2042, the more I'm seeing the value in it, because it doesn't have that single player component. But this kind of opens the door to like a kind of endless different possibilities for people to make their own thing.
It's kind of like maybe don't announce your price point until we know everything that's involved with the game.
Yeah, because this was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about this. So, I mean, it's good to know. It would have been nice to have that when they first announced it.
Yeah, imagine the people who were like, oh, I'm not buying that fucking game. There's no, I'm not doing it. It's half a game, and you want me to spend more money on it. I'm not doing it.
Well, hopefully they saw this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For DICE's sake.
Yes, but it should be coming out on launch October 22nd.
All right.
So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, we got a cool Apex Legends trailer of a new character.
Cool.
Some
Guess
Knockout City stuff.
Playing Apex.
And Grid Legends, which I have mixed feelings about because it looks like a heavy story mode racing game.
Yeah.
Which hasn't worked out very well in the past.
They never work.
Yeah. So
Except for Need for Speed Underground, I guess, was...
Sure.
But even that was like...
That was very loose, though.
Yeah. They understood the assignment. They were like, we're not going to make you do this too much. Just race. It's fun.
Yeah.
Customize your car and race. So...
But anyway, that's all I got from the video game front.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm falling apart at the seams.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Let's get out
of here.
Let's get out of here. All right. Before we can get out of here, we have to review these brewskis. And these are from the Hourglass Brewing Company. It's the District Kölsch. Kölsch style ale. What'd you think, Obi?
I really like it. Not a surprise. That's why I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we said, very crispy boys. Very crispy boys. Very tasty. Really no nonsense. It's one of those that I feel they didn't go crazy with trying to influence it with tropical flavors or any nonsense. It is very, kind of similar to the yard. It's simple. It's beautiful. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. I'm going to give this one I'm gonna do a split. I'm gonna give it a 4.75.
Ooh.
Because I feel like genuinely a 4.5 is too low for this guy, but a 5 is pretty strong. So I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Oof, man, puts me in a rock and a hard place. Because I'm like, I was leaning at 4.5. I was good with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll fucking do 4.75. I'll just jump on it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I usually don't do the in-betweens, but
yeah.
I think this is warranted.
Mm-hmm.
5 seems a little too strong.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they're going to hear this and be like, just give it a 5,
Please. Sorry, guys. We love you. Very tasty brew.
But it's, I couldn't get anything lower than a 4.5. So we'll go 4.75 on this.
Okay.
So, yeah. You got it?
I know we got it.
Well, then let's get the fuck out of here. This has been the One Baron Podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa. For Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Tokyo Drift is better.
Thank you guys for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Drink delicious beer. Have a beautiful evening.
We love you. Please blow your nose.